Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and today I'm going to share with you how I've been making these little greenhouses for indoors, though I guess you can use them outside in the shade, and it has been working fantastic for my seeds that I'm starting here in this little cubbyhole area where all the hummingbirds feed. Let me explain to you what this is. Now, I bought 3 of them. As you can see, there's one behind me, one there, and one here because they stack. They are 14.5 gallons, they're clear, and they come with a white lid. Now you can go smaller, shorter you could go, but I wouldn't go really tiny unless you only have a small space. But they're only like $7 and they're just so incredibly cheap. So I've been using this. Another thing I have been using, because we are just not warm enough. I tried to grow some seeds without any heat at all, and we're not stable. We have to have a nighttime temperature of closer to 60 degrees. So I bought this little mat last year, and I just bought another one because it's working fantastic. It's a little skinny heat pad. I also got this on Walmart for a really good price. It was about $11. And I've got one set up in here, and they're only 6.5 watts. So they're not burning a lot of electricity or anything. Plugs into a regular plug, and I have it sitting on the bottom. What it's doing is when I lay it inside the tote, I'll get back to this in a minute. When I lay it inside the tote crosswise, it's creating an area in here. The whole thing is stable now. It's not going to be hot because it's only 6.5 watts, but it's creating this atmosphere like nature where it's just not that cold, but not that hot. So what I wanted to say about this is, let's talk about this. Plastic, when you touch it, a lot of times is cold. So what I have found that is really good, if you can get cardboard or something thick on the bottom, that will increase the temperature right away by 1 degree. I tested that. So if it's 63 degrees in here, by just putting a layer of paper or cardboard or paper bags, whatever you've got on the bottom, that will increase it right away by 1 degree. Then I have this in here, and this is going to kind of increase the entire thing by about 5 degrees. Which is perfect. It might go a little bit more, but that's okay. It's not going to get too hot. And then you can load it up any way you want. Now, the other thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make holes. Now, I haven't made holes in that one yet, and I wanted to show you how I'm going to make holes because we do need air. Our plants need to breathe, and you don't want to suffocate them. Now, I wouldn't put holes in the lid. I'm going to use these 3 to stack. I'm going to get rid of the chair, and I'm going to stack them. But the lid you want to keep solid. That's the lid. And by having the lid straight, you can put another one on top. And I think 3 in here is going to be perfect for me. And they're so light to pick up and move. So that's what I'm going to do with the lid. As far as holes, I would put holes around the rim. Let me see if my soldering iron is still hot. And it doesn't matter how far down. You could go further down like here. And just get holes all the way around. And you can put as many or as few as you want. I wouldn't put too many. All we want to do is get a little bit of air in there. And this way, if you want to snap the lid on, you've got airflow. So that's, that's good here. And I could turn it around and put a few more. And this way, it doesn't matter if it came unplugged, because what's good is it stays hot for a while. And there is one more thing I want to show you, if you wanted to do this. Now, what I do in here is, this is to start my seeds. That's all it's going to do. You don't want to leave the plants in there too long. Though I will tell you, I take them off the windowsill, and at night I put them in there so they're in their stable condition. But you can get a little light. Now, I got this at a bargain store I found, but I have seen them on Walmart for $15. You look around and see what you can find. Now, I haven't done this yet. I'm doing this with you. But this little light has these snap-on clips. And then you pull the string to turn it on. And I thought, wait a minute, snap-on clips? So what if I put it in the middle? You can put it anywhere you want. And make a couple holes. Let's put it as straight as possible. I don't have to put it in the middle. Let's put it here. Because what you're going to have to do, and you have to remember this, that when you want to use a light bulb or any type of light for your plants, you're going to have to get the plants as close as possible. You don't want to burn your plants if it's warm. It shouldn't be warm. The LEDs don't stay warm. but you want to get it close to your plants, and then the plants will continue to grow in here if you don't have a window to put them in. I'm fortunate enough to have a window. Now I'm going to use paper fasteners. I'm going to drop that in here. I'm hoping you can see this because I haven't done this yet. You just put a paper fastener right inside because it's really cool. This particular light had a clip, and well, I can't do it this way. So I'm going to have to reach underneath. And if it doesn't work, I can use, I don't know, make 2 holes and put a zip tie. But I don't see why it won't work. I just have to open the paper fastener. Now, what you will have to do here is do some sort of lift, maybe a food container or something, and you would have to bring your plants much closer to the light. But maybe you want to do it just because you want to see better. What I'm doing is I'm starting seeds in pencil boxes, but I'm also starting the seeds directly in the cups. I use the 2-cup system, and this way I can put them on the windowsill. I don't have to worry about anything dripping. Okay, we do have it on, see? Now, if all goes well, like I said, if it doesn't, I can go back later and zip tie it. I should be able to just snap it on. Yeah, look at there, that. I haven't used this light yet, as you can tell. I'm going to snap it on to this side. And now I've got a light. Will it hold? It should hold. And now I can have a light in here. I can plug it in and turn it on. And then now, let's plug this in. And did I turn it on? No. There it is. Now I've got light, and I can set this out there. I can put some tape on top here so you don't get cut by the paper fasteners or anything. And now I have a light if I want. I can always make a notch in the lid if I need to, but I'm not going to bother because the air coming up is fine. So now I've got a complete system with light for some of my plants, but you will want to kind of raise the plants on anything. It could be like these are pencil boxes I got from Dollar Tree. You wouldn't use that, but you can put your plants. These are very precious to me. I started in here. And now look how close they are to the light. Isn't that cool? If your house is kind of cool or you're putting this in a cool area, and now you can have the plants right next to the light. This is so simple and so cheap to make. Here is my tomatoes I started. Now they don't have any holes on the bottom, but these are the Voyagers and they're doing fantastic. I'm so excited. Last year I planted a whole bunch and I only got 1 to grow. Now I planted 5 seeds in here and I got 2 growing so far. So that's what I do in the morning. I get up, I put the ones that are in pots on the windowsill, the ones that are still in here, like this one is still in the shoebox. This one I started 2 days ago. I've got some other seeds in there. And I keep those in there until I see them sprouting. Now this one is already sprouting. Now this is red roselle. So I've got to get these in pots. This is usually to get my seeds started. Then I know, wow, I planted 7 seeds and all 7 made it. So these will need a pot. And I have a way of how I'm going to do it. With these, because you can put your shoe boxes in there if you're going to grow in pots. These are little flower pots. And it stacks perfect in a $1 shoebox from Walmart. And I bought these 2-inch pots online really cheap. Gary's got a couple hundred. Or you can go with paper cups. And I'm going to put the red roselles in paper cups. And I'm going to make sure there's holes in here. There's a lot of ways we can use this. I'm not going to get into that. I have a double system on that too that I use. But right now I'm going to put holes in there, get some soil in there, get the red roselle in there. I can mark it. And when I plant them outside, I'm not taking them out of the paper cup. Yes, we know that the average paper cup still has plastic. So does tea bags, remember that. And the point is with this is once they get some size and I'm ready to put them outside, all I do is by then the bottom will be real soft because it'll always be wet. Just with your finger, I've got videos on that, push the bottom out and plant the whole thing in the ground. Then the roots will come out the bottom and start to spread around. Now keep in mind, toilet paper rolls, peat moss cups, a lot of you use that. A lot of times if you lose your plants, that's because what happens with the peat moss cups, the roots go around and around and around and they don't go out. We're not talking about air pruning that a lot of people use, the fabric pots and the roots touch it and then they die. We're not talking about that. We're talking about peat moss cups, and toilet paper rolls. If they get into the rim of rolling around the pot, they'll start to grow and it will die out. But if you pull out the bottom or push it out with your finger, the roots will go down and out because they'll feel the soil underneath, and then you don't have to worry about this later on in the soil. If you see it, just pick it up when the plant is big, throw it away or forget about it. It's pretty much going to disappear anyways, but these are fantastic. You know, I've been doing cups for years and going directly in the ground. The other reason I do it this way is if you drop it, let's say, part way down, and you got roly-polies crawling along, they're not real smart. They hit it and go, oh, there's something here, and they roll around. Roly-polies will eat your seedlings if you're not going to use tool and protect them. So cups are good for watering. You water in the cup when you're watering outside. Don't just go and hose. But when you water the cup itself, it will go straight into the roots when it's in the ground, and you won't lose your seedlings. I have far better luck doing it this way than planting directly in the ground once the seeds are starting to grow. So this has been great. I'll show you afterwards how I'm going to set this up. I'm getting rid of the chair. I just didn't want to do it until I did the video because I just ordered these two, because when that one came and I've been working with that, I've been so excited because my seeds in there have been growing in like 3 days. It's been unbelievable. I've got to get my broccoli out. I've got to get my tomatoes planted, and I've even done my propagating in there to keep it stable, and I put them in there if it's cold at night. If it's not, I just leave them out. We don't have heat, by the way. Our heater broke a while ago, and we're in Southern California, so we're okay. But the point is, I use that. You can use that in a garage, a patio, or wherever you want. It is great. And this is Gary's, the dragon fruit seeds, the yellow ones. And I actually saw one. I could not believe it. It looked like it was starting to grow. But I'm going to get these started back in here. Keep that in there. I'm going to get these in the ground, or I should say in a pot, and then as soon as I can in the ground. And I just wanted to share this, that if you have a small place, you're only doing a few plants. You're not going to plant 200 peppers or 50 tomatoes. You're only going to plant a few of what you like. This is great. And as you start them, and you're starting them in here, and you're moving them out, keep going, keep using it. Because this has been, I can't even say how good it's been. The seeds have been coming up in a matter of days. So I hope I gave you some ideas of growing indoors, getting your seeds started indoors, and then finding a place. And of course, if you had a bookshelf and you want to put lights on that I just put in here, and you can have a place for lights, if you know, for your plants, that is great. If you don't have enough light, any type of light, the point is they'll get leggy. And if certain plants that get leggy are gone. I'm not doing it right now. Let's make this real straight. We're early. I'm not going to start my squash for another month. Then I'll start doing watermelons, squash, cucumbers. For me, even here in Southern California, if I can't get them outside quick enough, it's worthless to me. To me, I look at it, why would I want to do that? When I grow them, let's say next month, and then get them out the following month, they're going to be vigor and fast and wanting to grow. If I grow them now and hold certain plants like I just mentioned, they're going to try to grow. They might get leggy. They may not get leggy, but they lose that vigor. When the seed first starts to grow, they've got this thing, let's grow. And when you're trying to grow and you're not being, able to set your roots out in the condition in which you want to, a lot of times you plant those outside and you'll lose a lot of them. When I start them a little later and get them going either in a pencil box or a plastic bag or whatever, and then put them in a pot or a paper cup, and I get them outside, I have found that they grow much faster than they do if you get them big in the house and you don't have the proper setup. It's kind of like planting trees. A lot of people think that if they buy a big tree, a tall one, it's going to grow much quicker and faster than a short tree in a small pot. Depending on the tree, like peach trees, nectarines. Do you know that a lot of the smaller trees grow much quicker and will outgrow the bigger tree, the more expensive one? They're short, they're small, they want to take off. And those a lot of times will outgrow a larger, more expensive tree. Just food for thought. So with that, I hope I gave you good tips on starting seeds in the house if you want to set up a small greenhouse, if you're a small-time grower. And if not, oh well. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Okay, now I got to get this stacked the way I want to. So as you can see here, what I ended up doing is making 2 holes in the lid, and I put a zip tie here to hold the cord. That's because if I'm lifting the lid up and down, I don't want to knock around my light and have it disconnect. So it will hold it all in place, and it works perfect. The other thing that I did was, you saw I put painter's tape. I used a frog tape on the top over the clips because they're kind of sharp, and I thought there was no use in leaving it the way it was, and this way it will hold everything nice and snug. And then I just stacked everything. Remember, this is for starting your seeds in case your area is still a little too cool. You'll still have to find a good lit place for the plants. Bye-bye.